How's it coming across for you, Andy? Can you hear me? Still a bit early here. Okay, we're just waiting for Elise to join. We've got still a few minutes, and waiting for some people to join us for the interview today with Elise about her journey to the vegan lifestyle and the raw vegan lifestyle and her website, Raw Alignment, and everything she's achieved and everything else. So we're going to be going live. Well, we are. I'm live right now. And hopefully some people will be joining us as well. I put up a comment recently on Facebook where I said that there is good fruit literally everywhere. And a lot of people didn't like that comment. Uh, so Benjamin said, so I said to everyone, there is good fruit literally everywhere. Benjamin said, you really think so? I said, yeah, for sure. He said, 3 years on, I'm still blind to it. Maybe the fourth year is key. I don't mean it's literal. I don't mean it's all like every single street. I mean it's every country, every city. Innes Park says Portugal is a cut above the fruit in the UK. Portugal is way better. Blah blah blah. I doubt it, honestly. Get your dance on like Tanny Raw. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for get your dance on like Tanny Raw. How does Tanny Raw dance? It's kind of always like this. Wait. Let's see. She's always kind of like this, right above herself. Do you mean like that? Oh God. Oh, people are joining. Great. Elise is just about to join. She's in touch with me at the moment. So Elise is coming to the UK Fruit Festival, and that's not the only reason that we're talking today, but that's one of the reasons we've got together to chat. And I should try and get up. We can sit up straight for everyone. How is it for everyone? How are you in the world? Where are you? What's your names? Oh, we're not live. Go live. You can't go live while you're broadcasting. Ah, there you go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so what other comments? People said affordable and genuine organics is another issue. If you have abundant money and a vehicle, so people are being quite negative about the idea that there's good fruit everywhere. Benjamin Benulis told me that. Uh, okay, so why isn't that showing up? God. Hi everyone, my name's Ronnie. YouNow's telling me to introduce myself to the audience. I'm trying to add you, Elise, but for some reason the thing isn't adding yet. Give me a moment. Ah, there we go. Right, I'm inviting Elise to join us right now. Move you across camera a little bit. Hello.
Hello. Hey.
Hi, just trying to sort this camera. Good position.
I was attempting to do this on my phone because normally I will go on YouNow on my phone. But I guess that did not work.
Ah, right, okay, excellent. Well, we're live now, and we're getting some people joining, so hopefully some people might ask questions. But I know it's morning for you because you are in. Where is it you are living right now exactly?
I am in Hawaii. I'm in Hilo on the big island of Hawaii.
In Hilo. Uh, and I was going to ask this later on, but what led you to move there? Because I think that you, well, just for everyone who's joining, my name's Ronnie, and I
My
run a
name's
fruit
Elise.
festival, and I'm on YouTube and stuff like that. And Alice is from Raw Alignment and has a website, Raw Alignment, and we'll speak more about that. And Elise is coming over to the UK soon to be part of our event, so we're talking about a number of things today about her journey to a vegan lifestyle and a raw vegan lifestyle and everything that goes along with that, and about a number of other things. And if anyone wants to ask a question or anything, please feel free. There's a chat box to the side there. But Elise, what led you to being in Hawaii?
What led me to Hawaii? Um, I would say there were a couple of big things. One was that I was really striving to eat mostly fruit, and in doing so, I realized I was running into some difficulties being in such a cold climate. I'm
Yeah,
already a very cold person in general, and being in Connecticut in the Northeast, and then I was also in Georgia, but that was pretty cold, and I just felt myself being pulled to a warmer climate in order to make that lifestyle behavior a little bit easier
yeah,
for me. And then, in addition to that, I just met some individuals who were living in Hawaii and loving it completely. So, having that reassurance that other people were out there and really enjoying their time and enjoying the climate and all of that was kind of like the go ahead, like the sign that I needed to just do it on my own.
yeah. Fantastic. And how did you find a place in Hawaii? Was it through being at the Woodstock Festival and meeting people there and stuff?
Yeah, it was. So I never really knew what woofing was. For those of you who
Yeah.
don't know, it's where you're working on a farm in exchange for food and the place to stay on the farm. Um, so, oh look, my brother is tuned in.
Oh wow.
Um, and so, yeah, I found the opportunity when I was at the fruit festival. Somebody shared with me that there was a completely raw vegan fruit farm that existed on this island. And I didn't have a ton of money saved up at the time, so I couldn't come out here and rent a place to live. So that was kind of like the only opportunity, and the best opportunity for me was to work a few hours every day on the land in exchange for living on that farm. And then I eventually started earning money and transitioned out of that.
Fantastic. And
Yeah.
yeah, and I I noticed as well. I mean, this is a different. Well, no, I was going to ask about because I noticed that at that point you were doing a lot of weightlifting as well. But we'll speak about that maybe later. But what people seem to think Hawaii is quite a special place, and people that move there seem to kind of don't want to leave, sort of thing. So, is that your experience?
Yeah, definitely. There are some pretty special qualities about Hawaii. One thing in particular that I would love to share is that it seems like everything manifests quite a bit quicker out here. It's like you've got something on your mind and you really want to cultivate something in your life, and all you have to do is think about it and maybe vocalize it to a couple of people, and like sometimes within minutes or hours or a couple of days, it's like bam, that has taken place in your life.
Wow.
I've witnessed that time after time with myself and also with so many individuals around me, and that's something that I've never experienced before, and it is definitely known to be something very unique to this island and perhaps Hawaii in general.
There's quite a few people joining now. If anyone wants to share this with others, please feel free to share with your friends that we're doing this right now. Before we get into a bit more detail, but thanks for everyone joining, and feel free to pass this on social media or whatever, and let other people know that this is going on. We'll probably be here for a little while, for up till for another hour or so, or 40 minutes, 50 minutes. Um, Great. So I've seen some questions here. Is it expensive to live in Hawaii? Gina's asking for someone fresh out of high school. I've heard
Yeah,
it is,
great
but
question. It definitely depends on what type of lifestyle you're looking to live out here. As I said, when I first arrived, I didn't have much money at all, and I was working on a farm 4 hours a week in exchange, or 4 hours a day, a couple of days a week in exchange for getting a place to stay and having half of my food paid for. Then there's also the opportunity to live in a home and to rent a home, and depending on what part of the island you're on, that's going to be a little less expensive, a little more expensive. It also depends on how many individuals you're going to live with, so you can disperse the cost of the rent among more people. And then it also depends on your type of transportation. If you are in walking distance from everywhere you need to go, or if you're going to bike, or if you're going to drive, all of those things will kind of determine the cost of living out here. And also, different parts of the island have different types of grocery stores. So there's one side that has a Costco, there's another side that has farmers markets. So
yeah.
those are all kind of determining factors in if it is expensive for you or not.
Is Hawaii the kind of place that there's just fruit growing everywhere and falling on the ground everywhere? Some people think it's like that. I don't know, but
Um, Many parts of it are like that, yeah, for sure. Especially on this island.
mhm.
I know on other islands it's more city-like and more modernized, but there's definitely fruit falling from the trees here, especially like in mango season. Yeah, there's a lot of mangoes on the ground right now.
Brilliant. Um, so let's go back to the start. How were you brought up? Were you brought up as a vegan, as a vegetarian, or what's your background?
No, I had a pretty standard, the typical American diet. I had, I had pizza, spaghetti and meatballs, toast with cream cheese, like such typical meals, nachos, a lot of store-bought things. My mom always did her best to create pretty balanced meals for us when I was a child, and we had a lot of homemade meals. But at the same time, we would be using like um, tomato sauce that has been packaged in a store that has salt and sugar and all of these things added to it. So it wouldn't be like homemade from scratch.
Yeah.
So that was kind of my diet growing up. Pretty much until high school, I was eating a lot of store-bought, processed, packaged things.
Yeah, and so what uh, did you shift firstly towards a change because of health, or did you go towards veganism through ethics, or what was your path into making those changes?
It was initially for health reasons, and I was struggling a lot with my relationship with food, and I also had really chronic stomach pains and wasn't in a very good mental state either. It was like a lot of the physical mental connection, and I was just feeling really, really low in general. So I kind of just like had this vision that in the future I would be eating a plant-based diet. I thought it was really cool when I first found out about it, but I didn't have a ton of information that I knew. And I kind of just like, as soon as I learned about it, I was like, oh yeah, one day I'll do that. That's so cool. And then I didn't educate myself for a little while, and I kept going through ups and downs with my health. And I finally just reached a really low point in my life and decided to take the time to research on what I could do to improve my well being. So that's when I came back to veganism and back to raw veganism, which was like a vision I also had that like one day I would be eating that way. I just didn't really know how until I took the time to do the research.
Yeah. So was it through, did you meet people? Was it through YouTube? What happened for you that really kind
Yeah,
of helped you out?
it was through YouTube from the start. I didn't know anyone who was vegan in my life in person. So I found Christina's YouTube videos, which were all about fruits and vegetables in their raw form. So that was kind of my path to learning about everything. And I never really went through a vegan junk food phase. I never went through a vegetarian phase. I kind of just went straight to a very, very healthy vegan diet. And I would say the first month or so, I was eating a lot of smoothies and salads, and I would have potatoes and cooked vegetables, and that was pretty much it. So there's just a point where I realized, wow, I'm eating mostly raw anyway. I'm having mostly smoothies and salads, so I might as well just go full force and dive right into it and start eating completely raw. So then I did that for quite a few months, and then it got colder, and I was like, oh man, this is difficult. So I started having cooked food, and I've been like on and off with all raw and just a healthy cooked vegan diet ever since.
Nice. So let's have a look here. There's a few questions coming in, if you don't mind answering. Someone said,
Yeah.
uh, how much would you recommend someone save if they're planning to move out of state? What pushed you to move to Hawaii? I think you've
Hmm.
spoken about that already, but
Yeah, I spoke a little bit about that. I think the amount that you personally will want to save is definitely going to be um, specific to what your wants and needs are. I was talking about the cost of living before, and it's depending on what type of lifestyle you're wanting to live out there, and the money amount that you save is also depending on how much security you're looking for. I came out to the island with $500, and that's not a lot of money. That doesn't get you very far. So I was really budgeting super well. I was in a place that I didn't have to pay for a lot of things. And I was just trying to live super minimally, but that lifestyle is not for everybody. So
yeah.
um, I think it's important to be realistic with what your typical needs are on a daily and weekly basis and kind of create a budget for yourself from there.
And Crude Mango has asked a question. Although the sugar in fruit is natural, is it at all unhealthy having too much of it, consuming only fruit?
Good
What's your thought?
question. I don't believe so, not at all. The way that fruit sugar and processed sugar, like processed white sugar, react in your body is completely different. And I personally am not like a huge scientific evidence-based person. Like, I like to go with what feels good for me. So I will try so many things out. I've tried eating the paleo diet before. I've tried a sugar detox for 3 weeks. I
Right.
have eaten completely raw, like all of these different things, and I stick with what feels right for me. And I notice that I feel the best when I'm consuming the most amount of fruit. So I believe that it's completely different. When I eat processed sugar, I feel like complete crap, and fruit sugar does not allow me, or does not leave me feeling that way at all.
Yeah. So, um, so you talked about we went going back. You talked about how you did have some health issues that kind of moved you towards. And what is it that continues to inspire you now? Because a lot of people kind of take steps forward with their health and then move back. So
Mhm.
what keeps you inspired and moving forward with it?
Um, I guess just the desire to continue feeling good and to even feel better than I'm feeling at this present moment. Like, the way I look at it is you have to have good health in order for every other part of your life to be really incredible. Like, if you are working at a job, if you have poor health, you're going to have less of a great time at that job than if you had really incredible health. Same thing with relationships. You're going to be able to interact better with those individuals if you are feeling healthy, if your mind is alert, if you're feeling physically good and fit and healthy, than if you were to just be feeling really sick. And that goes with everything like exercise, so many different things. So that's kind of what keeps me motivated is if I
Yeah.
want a well balanced life that's awesome in every aspect, then my health has to come first.
You mentioned there about exercise, and I spoke about this a little bit earlier, but last time I saw you at the Woodstock Festival, you seemed to be doing weightlifting a lot. Is that something you're still
Yes.
doing now, and what appeals to you about that?
Yeah, so I love weightlifting. It is something I'm still doing now. I took a little bit of a break about a month ago. I took like a full month break because I was doing a juice fast and was kind of just like taking a break from that intense exercise in general. And I am still doing it. And what appeals to me about it is that it leaves me feeling strong, and it leaves me it leaves me feeling the goals of wanting to get stronger. So I don't know. I feel like when I do other types of activity, it it doesn't leave me with that same passion or motivation to continue working towards the goal of getting stronger and stronger. Um, and I think that's just because it's what I'm passionate about in this moment. Because I know, like, you can be doing yoga and you can always be improving endlessly. But I don't feel that same passion for yoga or running or any other type of exercise. And I think also because I'm fairly petite, it definitely empowers me to be lifting weights and feeling stronger and not feel like a weak little person because I am smaller in stature. Um, yeah, I just find it so fun. It's super, super entertaining, and it feels good to see how far you can push your body and see how much you can improve.
Do you think some women stay away from weightlifting because they don't want to get big or anything like that? Have you encountered that?
Yeah, I think a lot of women are afraid of getting too big, and I think people are also, like, women are also interested in it, but they might be hesitant to go over into the men's section of the gym. I know that was um, that's a common fear, and it was something I was hesitant about in the beginning. Um, but weightlifting isn't going to make you big unless that is your number one goal, is to
Right.
get really shredded and have like a ton of mass on your body. Weightlifting is great to tone your body, and the more muscle you have, the quicker you will lose fat. And I think that is something that's not out there enough. Like in women's magazines and all of that, it's all about cardio, cardio, cardio. And I've heard so many women say, like, I'm just doing a lot of cardio now, and then I'm going to tone my body after I lose the fat. And that's just not, in my opinion, the best way to go about it. I think that doing the two together is awesome. I mean, you can burn fat alone with weightlifting, but if you want to incorporate the two together, I think that would be an awesome pair for fat loss and toning your body or building muscle at the same time. Somebody
Excellent.
said, have you ever tried surfing? No, I have not.
Do you get, are you getting, I've not seen that question. Is that, do you get different questions to me?
Um, it's
That's
the very
interesting.
last question.
Oh, wow. Funny. Okay, great. And just so if anyone wants to ask any questions, please feel to chat in the box to the side. Um, so we kind of hung out online years ago a couple of times
Yeah.
with Robert, with Kevin, with Ben, with a few other people, um, and it was about kind of doing online entrepreneurship kind of things, and it was connected with being vegan or plant-based, whatever. Um,
Hmm.
you've continued that. Obviously, you started Raw Alignment around about back then, and you've continued to post on YouTube, I think Instagram as well, and you've been offering different kind of packages and coaching, and I think you did a vegan program as well. Could you just
Hmm.
maybe speak a bit about how did that all come along and how has that progressed for you?
Yeah, of course. So I created Raw Alignment almost 2 years ago now, and that was right after the Woodstock Fruit Festival in 2014, and I was really inspired by quite a few people there who had started their own businesses, um, and just kind of like taught me how to do that and inspired me in doing that, and kind of showed me like how freeing it could be to be your own boss and not have to work under anybody else. And that was definitely what I wanted to do. So I created Raw Alignment, and I just had so many ideas from the very beginning on how I could help people get healthy and how I could share my journey. So I started out with, I created my website, rawalignment.com. And then I started my YouTube channel a few months later, and that was pretty scary in the beginning, and I definitely didn't feel comfortable from day one. If you go back to my very old videos, I am a completely different person in front of the camera than I am now.
Yeah,
And yeah, so I did that and just started to get the hang of it and get comfortable with it a little at a time. And then over the course of the last 2 years, I have kind of spread myself across almost every single social media platform. So, Snapchat, Instagram, Periscope, which is similar to YouNow, Tumblr, Pinterest, like everything. And that I really think is a big part of why Raw Alignment has grown so quickly, is because the way I think of it is like each social media platform is like a fishing hook. This isn't a very vegan example, but each is like a hook, and then if you're trying to reach the most amount of people, then the more hooks you have going down are going to reach more fish. So if I'm trying to help more people, then I have to be more places because some people might just be on YouTube and not on any other social media platform. Some people might just be on Facebook. So trying to get on as many places as possible and share my journey and share inspiration is definitely what I've been working on. And yeah, and then I've been creating health programs. I created a big program called Transition to Vegan in 30 Days, and it's a
mm,
video-based program. So I share daily videos that are 5 to 10 minutes long on a variety of topics. Um, they're aimed to target people who are interested in improving their health and also who are interested in learning more about the ethical side and the environmental side of veganism. So it's like a pretty well-rounded program, and there's a lot of other things included in there. And My goal is to just continue making more and more programs, not just about veganism, also about other healthy lifestyle behaviors like exercising and taking care of your body and loving yourself. So that's kind of the direction I'm going from here on out.
Yeah, yeah, great. So, so you were doing quite a lot of work on not just YouTube, but you were posting Tumblr, Instagram, and all these things. So people who might want to go down that path of building an online business or YouTube
Yeah.
channel or whatever, then then that's a then that's a good tip is to be to kind of. And did you find that you had to learn how to do these different things differently, or did you just
Yeah,
post the same thing
definitely.
on every one, or different stuff?
You can do that, but you kind of have to learn like the lingo of each platform,
Right.
the types of things that you post on there, the way that you word them, how long your posts are supposed to be. There's definitely a lot to learn about each one, and consistency is the biggest thing. Being consistent, not posting 5 times in one day and then nothing for the rest of the week, but posting like once every day, twice every day, or whatever it is. Yeah, it was definitely hard in the beginning to keep up with everything, and there's a lot of practice to make that work, but there's also automation websites where you can go in and like type what you want to post for the next month, and then you can just automate everything, and that's been really helpful as well.
Yeah, cool. Um, so some of your videos went really viral recently, and I guess
Yes.
that gave you a lot of attention, and I don't know, I guess a lot of positive attention, maybe some negative attention, I don't really know, but how was that experience? Was that something kind of surprising to handle, or how did that work out for you?
Yeah, it was interesting for sure. I think the first one to go viral was my video about removing my dreadlocks, and I think the reason that happened was because there weren't really many videos showing that process, the entire process before. And then I think from the exposure of that video, my Why I Don't Wear a Bra video went viral. And then a lot of people had issues in those two viral videos with my body hair, with my armpit hair, because I like lifted an arm up at one moment. And so then I kind of recorded another video titled Why I Don't Shower, but it was a complete joke. It was more so just to kind of reach all of the individuals who thought that because I had body hair, it meant I was a dirty person. And I just kind of like debunked that myth that if you have body hair, then you're a dirty person. And that video went viral as well. So after all of that, I mean, it was kind of entertaining and interesting because I don't know like 100% why that happened or how it happened because I don't know how YouTube works in that sense. But um, yeah, I don't know. It definitely gave me a lot of exposure. And one thing that I think is really awesome that came out of all of this is that now I'm having individuals who are not coming to my channel interested in veganism or eating raw, but then they're discovering it. And I think that has been really cool to read comments saying like, wow, I just found your channel and now I'm interested in going vegan. I had never thought about it before. So I think it's really awesome that it happened with non-vegan related videos because now I get
Right.
the opportunity to share all of these great things about this lifestyle with people who were not even interested or thinking about it beforehand.
It's kind of fascinating because you would never have thought that there was a lot of people out there that were looking for dreadlock videos. But
Right.
I guess there is a lot of people with dreadlocks, or a lot of uh, women in particular maybe that are interested in seeing stuff like that. I don't know. It's
Yeah, I
interesting,
mean, I didn't think that at first either. I was like, wow, like dreadlocks is a huge niche, I
right?
guess. But at the same time, YouTube is so big. There are videos about everything and anything. And um, yeah, I think coming from like a vegan YouTuber outlook, it's like, oh, dreadlocks is just like one little thing that's on YouTube, and like everything I watch on YouTube, which isn't a ton, but what I do watch on YouTube, it's all vegan related. So yeah, it definitely gave me like a little peek into, oh wow, there are communities of people that are just watching videos on dreadlocks. So I think I just tapped into that and got some people over into the
Wow,
vegan videos.
brilliant. Yeah, and it's interesting because you mentioned not shaving your body hair and things like that, and a lot of people who get into raw veganism, they have that kind of they have, I guess, a desire to move to a more natural lifestyle. Was that something you always had, or do you think the change in diet actually created that shift in you as well?
Yeah, the change in diet definitely kind of opened me up to that idea, because when I started eating a more natural diet and not eating processed foods and anything that had like long ingredients or any ingredients at all, like just eating food that has come from the ground or come from a tree, kind of just opened my eyes and led me to question everything that I'm doing and everything that I'm using in my life. So, like body care products, what am I putting on my body? Not only what am I putting into my body food wise, but like what am I using in the kitchen? What am I using here? Like everything. And also, what am I doing to my body in other ways? Like, is shaving completely natural? Does it feel good for me? Is it benefiting me? Um, like, what types of clothes am I wearing? Are they comfortable? Are they ethically made? And just,
Yeah.
yeah, I would say changing the food that I was eating was the spark that led me to think all of these other things.
Hmm. And just to go back to raw alignment, what are your plans with it? What are your goals? Do you have a next step set out?
Yes, I have lots and lots and lots of goals. Um, Hold on, just had to plug in my computer. So I will be going to the UK Fruit Festival, obviously, and then
Brilliant.
I'll be going to the Woodstock Fruit Festival. So those are kind of like some really close upcoming things that I'll be doing. I intend to get a coloring book out by Christmas time, which will kind of be like a conscious, positive affirmation coloring book. Um,
Yeah.
then I also plan to hike the Appalachian Trail, which is over 2,000 miles over five
Wow.
months of hiking, starting next spring. And I plan to document that whole journey. And I'm not 100% yet, but I am thinking about trying to hike it completely raw. Um, so I have to do a couple of practice hikes before I completely solidify that goal of mine, but I'm definitely going to be hiking it. I might be hiking it raw. I'll be documenting that and kind of just sharing like what I'm eating, what it's like doing such a long-term hike and staying away from junk, vegan junk food. And yeah, then I also have the goals of just creating more programs for people, staying on YouTube the whole time. I love YouTube and I think it's a really awesome tool. But I also plan to create a fitness related program, perhaps a program that's geared more towards raw veganism since I have a transition to vegan program. Um, and probably more self love information and a program regarding that. And by program, I just mean something that's probably around 30 days long with just an abundance of information and resources in there. Um, yeah, that's, that's a lot of it right now.
Yeah, great. And you're going to some festivals. Um, what's been your experience of going to events when it comes to? I know you've been to Woodstock, but maybe you've been to other events in your life as well, and the impact they've had on you.
Yeah,
What's your
so
thoughts on that?
I haven't been to many other events or festivals.
Hmm.
But yes, Woodstock definitely changed my life. Um, when I've been there for 2 years now, and the first year that I went, I was very insecure and I didn't know anybody who was eating this way in the physical sense. Like, I didn't have any
Yeah.
friends in my town or anything like that. And it was just very encouraging to be surrounded by so many individuals who were interested in improving their health as well and who were so loving and supportive, like right off the bat. As soon as you meet someone at Woodstock, like they are a fan of you. And I'm a fan of everyone there because everyone is trying to improve their health, and it's just a great community. And being in that atmosphere for 7 days straight is very empowering and uplifting, and allowed me to kind of get clear on what I wanted to do without having the limitations of other people who don't believe in me, if that makes
Right.
sense. So,
Yeah.
like, my friends and family back at home outside of the festival would kind of like make me feel a little crazy or silly for dreaming so big. Whereas at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, and I'm sure at the UK Fruit Festival as well, like that just doesn't take place. People are very encouraging and supportive and will help you make your dreams happen and help you find ways to do that. And that's what I experienced the second year as well. I went there with kind of a lot of like doubt in what I wanted to do in the future because my friends and family had told me, like, dropping out of school is an awful idea. You can't do that. You have to stick to the path. And um, going to the fruit festival, I just was reaching out and connecting with individuals who were supporting me and letting me know that it's possible to go a different route and to be successful and to be happy. And without that encouragement, I would not be where I am today. So going to festivals and connecting with people is an incredible life-changing experience, not just for me, but I know it has been for many people who go there as well.
Yeah, I found that as well at the Woodstock Fruit Festival, like you're saying, that you can go there and you can kind of transform yourself a little because you're not around any, well, for me as well, first year I went without anyone I knew, and everyone I was meeting there I was meeting for the first time, and it was an amazing chance for a week to just kind of be whoever you wanted to be in a way and allow parts of you to come out maybe that you didn't usually uh, bring out, uh, and yeah, the people. I mean, I thought it was maybe because most people from were American. I wasn't sure, but that community is very supportive and very kind of totally believes in each other's ability to do great things and go out and achieve things, and um, that certainly gave me a lot of confidence to go on and do things, and probably to put on the festival I'm doing, and things like that. And it's a really amazing community to be a part of, and still quite a small community. So I think definitely people should take that opportunity to be part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're coming to the UK Fruit Festival in a couple of weeks' time.
Yeah.
The people who want to be, I'll put the website below. Um, if anyone wants to join us there, Elise has a discount voucher code, raw
Yes, you can
alignment.
use the
You're
code raw alignment
Yep,
and
you can
sign up.
use that code to get a 10% discount for the event. Um, what kind of things are you hoping to share at the event? Because you're going to be teaching a bit and being one of
Yeah,
our leaders.
so I guess it's not 100% solidified, but I'm pretty sure that I'd love to talk about weightlifting and share a
Yeah.
little bit about what my typical routine is like and maybe show individuals how to use proper form when weightlifting and just allow any beginners to feel more comfortable in doing so. And I've been weightlifting for, I guess it's been 2 years now. And I feel really well versed in the area, so I'd love to talk about that. And then also how to spread the vegan message on social media and maybe even a little bit about growing your business. I talked quite a bit about that today, but I can go into more detail in it at the Fruit Fest. So those are the two topics I'm probably most interested in sharing at the UK Fest.
Absolutely. Um, Right, yeah. And what are you kind of looking forward to at these events yourself? Are you hoping to make some new connections, meet some new people? Are there things that you're looking for, things that maybe people can help you with?
I just want to connect with people, really. I feel like it's just such a fun place to be, and I'm excited to meet new people, hear about everyone's story, and see how I can be of service. And I'm just super excited to have a fun time and connect with individuals. And I don't know if there's anything specific I'm looking for. I think just a lot of talking, a lot of having fun,
Yeah,
and I'm very excited to share what I have learned in the past few years with everyone who wants to attend my classes.
brilliant. We had a question earlier on. Crude Mango asked, I'm currently watching this with my parents who I am struggling to convince that my raw vegan diet is healthy. Let me see. Yeah, that my raw vegan diet is a good thing. Please help. What would you say to Crude Mango about that?
Yeah, great question. I recorded a whole video about this on my channel because there are so many individuals who are currently struggling with this very thing. My personal outlook on the matter is, of course, it depends on how old you are, because if you are not old enough to get a job and to get a car, then you are definitely in a different position and kind of have to hang in there and do the best that you can for a few years until you have that independence. Um, but as far as individuals who are old enough to get a job, I say that it's your choice what you're putting in your body. And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way to any
Yeah,
parents who want the best for their children, but I do believe it's our decision what we're putting in our body, what we're putting on our body, as long as it's not dangerous to ourselves. And that's where doing the research really comes in and trying it out for yourself. So going online and looking at how many calories around you should be eating, what types of food you need in order to receive certain vitamins and minerals and nutrients, and
yep,
then trying it out, jumping in and trying to eat that way and seeing how it improves your body and your mind. And once you have those physical results, once you feel a lot better, people can't really argue with that, because if you're feeling better, there's really no reason to
yeah,
be changing what you're doing. So I just say stand strong in what you really want to do, and you don't absolutely need the approval of your parents to do so. If your parents aren't buying the food for you, then you can go and get a job and you can earn the money that you need in order to eat the types of food that you want to eat. So that's kind of just like a little snippet of what I feel about that.
yeah. No, that was really good. And another tip would be, I know it's not going to be possible for everyone, but some people have brought their parents along to the Woodstock Fruit Festival or brought their parents along to the UK Fruit Festival, and
Yeah.
their parents were able to meet a lot of other people that were doing it, and not every, people that have been doing it long term, people that were uh, very, rational, serious people, whatever you want to say, that
Yeah.
had researched
Healthy.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So you can maybe find people in your local area as well that are putting on events and things like that, or others that are doing it that might be able to. But I found that quite hard. How did you find it with your parents in general? Did you ever have any problems, or your family, maybe not just your parents, relationship,
Um,
anything like that?
I have always kind of been the person in the family who does things differently.
Uh-huh.
I've always enjoyed standing out, so in that sense, it wasn't that big of a jump for me to make. Whereas I know a lot of people are growing up thinking, like, I need to do this to fit in, and like they might be scared to do things to stand out from when they were born until how old they are now. So it might be a little more difficult in that situation. But for me, I was kind of just, I was feeling really unhealthy, and I just felt like it was my duty, my obligation to improve my health because nobody else was going to do that for me. So my parents definitely thought it was like interesting. They had never heard of that before, and um, they weren't really concerned that it was unhealthy because they know how fruits and vegetables are the healthiest foods on the planet.
Yeah.
Um, so they weren't really that concerned, and I had done so much research, and I immediately started feeling better and feeling more positive. And I was, like I said, I was in a really low place before, and I was kind of like lashing out at my family members because I was just insecure and uncomfortable and negative and depressed, and they saw an immediate positive change in me. So it was easy for them to just go along with it and say like, oh yeah, you're doing something good for yourself because we noticed the changes too. So that was kind of my experience with it.
And did you ever make any mistakes? Do you feel you've made any mistakes in your transition to a vegan or raw vegan lifestyle? Anything that you did wrong that you want to warn people of?
Good question. Yeah, I would say, I mean, in general, I don't feel like many things are mistakes, but more so just experiences that I've learned from and then changed what I've done afterwards. But I do feel like one mistake that I had in the very, very beginning was when I had stomach pain.
Hmm.
Um, this was kind of before I went vegan, but I was kind of transitioning, and I I would have stomach pain, and I would know it was because I ate something that was pretty unhealthy, probably dairy related or gluten related, and I would then like eat more healthy food like fruits and vegetables after my stomach was really hurting in order to like even out the amount of unhealthy and healthy food within me. And that I feel was a mistake because later down the road I learned about how important giving your digestive system a break is, and the idea of fasting and resting in order to kind of heal your gut. And now when I look back, I think, wow, I had a stomach ache and I ate more food in order to like balance that out when I could have just kind of taken a break and just drank some water, and not eaten anything for a little bit in order to kind of like ease my stomach pain. So that was just in the very beginning. If anyone is struggling with stomach pains and um, had that same outlook that I had, don't do that.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, yeah, some people worry about, supplements and things like that. Do you have concerns about that you're getting enough nutrition from your diet?
Um, I have never gotten anything tested. Like I've never had blood work or anything. And I don't supplement with anything at all. I I don't really feel that I've had anything health related that's been like in my face enough for me to take the time to research about supplements or get tested. Also, it hasn't been in my budget to get blood work done. It's something that I do think is a great thing to do. And I do plan to do it in the future just to kind of see where I stand everywhere. Um, but I would say once I do get my blood work done and see where my levels are at for certain minerals and vitamins, my first plan of action, if anything is low, would be to research foods that are high in that and then just consume more of those foods, rather than going directly to taking a supplement if I know that I haven't been including those types of foods in my diet as much as I could. Um, but I'm not super well versed in the area of supplements at all because I haven't taken them personally. I'm not opposed to them, but I guess I can't speak much on the topic because I don't have very much experience with it.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you're eating local and organic food and things that are all in season and you're having a pretty well balanced diet, not just over the course of a day or a week, but over the course of a couple of months and a year, like what are you eating? Is it in season? Is it really like rich food that's been grown from great soil? I think when you're buying conventional things from the stores, you're more likely to get deficient. Also, the amount of food that you're eating is really important, the amount of exercise you're doing in order to build up an appetite for that amount of food. There's definitely a lot of factors that go into it.
Yeah, and obviously, as a vegan, you're not worried about, you're not having any problems with building strength as a weightlifter.
No way. No, I think my my recovery is much, much quicker since eating a healthier vegan diet, and definitely no issue with building strength. And actually, another future goal that I have, not sure how soon this will happen, but I really have the desire to show people that you can get the body that you're looking for. Like, you
Hmm.
can get shredded, you can get really strong and big if you want to on a plant-based diet. And I I've been following a lot of women's women on social media who are doing these bikini competitions or physique competitions, and the diets to get them to where they are so detrimental to the body. And I really want to be a present be a present person in social media that can show an alternative to reaching that same end goal. Um, so that's something I plan to do in the future.
You've, I believe you've done quite a lot of coaching and helping people one on one and through your programs. What's the kind of feedback you're getting in terms of what people tend to be struggling with, and how do you help them with it?
I feel like a lot of people are struggling with getting started. They know that they want to change something. They know that they want to live healthier and just go a different route, but they're really struggling with stepping out of where they are right now. They're struggling with being the odd one out, whether it's with family or friends or community. Um, I would say that's the biggest struggling point for people. And the one thing that I like to say to that is that you don't need the approval of other people in order for you to start taking steps towards where you want to be. You don't have to have every single one of your friends or family members on your side in order for you to get started. And in fact, I don't think it's rarely going to be that way unless you're living at a fruit festival where everyone supports you.
Yeah.
Um, so I would just say to anyone who is struggling with getting started, just go for it and do your research, see how it feels for you, and don't wait for the approval of anyone, because you don't know how long it's going to take to get that approval or if it's ever going to come. And oftentimes, when people start doing things and they're successful with it, whether that's monetary success or like feeling good, feeling healthy, then people will kind of come around and be like, oh, what you're doing is really good. And I didn't know from the start, but now I believe in you. So that's kind of what happens. So you kind of just got to start heading towards where you want to be without the support of other people. And that can be hard, but you got
Mm.
to do it.
That's really interesting about what you just said there, which was doing it without the support of other people. You know, sometimes people are, maybe they feel like they can't do that. But what are your tips with social situations? You know, you might get invited to some place and might not have a vegan menu or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
Parties, occasions. It might get uncomfortable for some people when the focus turns on you as to, you know, why are you a vegan or why are you raw vegan or whatever. How have you
Right.
learned to cope with some of that kind of scenario?
I think that when it comes to those situations, you have to be really confident that you know you're doing something that's healthy for yourself and for the planet. And that's where knowledge comes in. That's where practicing what you're preaching comes in. Like knowing why you're doing what you're doing, whether it's like your intrinsic motivation and extrinsic motivation, but really getting confident and well versed on why you're doing it. And by understanding why you're doing it and becoming confident in that, you will then be more confident in explaining it to other people if the situation arises where people ask you about it. I don't think it's necessary to tell people everything that you're doing because some people might not want to hear it. But if people are asking about it, or if you are in a social situation like at a restaurant, um, if you are so confident that what you're doing is the right thing for you at this point in time, then your actions will just kind of totally align with that. And what I mean by that is when you're at a restaurant and they don't have vegan options, you will create vegan options from little things on their menu. Or you will be prepared before going to the restaurant and have a couple of things to eat before you go, or maybe bring a couple of things you can put on top of a salad. But you will care so much about why you're wanting to eat vegan or why you're wanting to eat raw that you will just naturally do everything that you possibly can to make those social situations easier and make them work really smoothly.
Yeah, personally, I find that it's not worth capitulating to a situation like that, by which I mean going to a restaurant and eating something that you don't want to eat. You know, it's not, it's never going to be worth it for you. It's much better to go through the
Yeah.
discomfort of saying, I prefer something different than what's on the menu, or not eating, or whatever. It's better to do that than trying to pretend to people that you don't eat a different way. Um,
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah, for sure. Uh, what about like with friends, with relationships? Have you had any strain from changing your lifestyle? Have you had to create new friendships? How's that worked out?
Yes, I've definitely created new friendships. It hasn't really created strain on many relationships. There have been a couple instances with my family when they were not eating vegan items and I didn't feel too good about it, but those are just things that you kind of work through over time and you learn something new from each situation. And I think the best thing is to not suppress anything, is to feel and speak about what you're feeling. Um, it has been interesting being in a close relationship with somebody who has been on and off vegan for a couple of years now. And like we'll go out to eat together, and sometimes in the past it hasn't been vegan. So that was kind of difficult to deal with. But again, like everything's a learning experience, and just vocalizing what you're feeling in that moment is pretty important. As far as my friends changing, I really shifted my friends pretty much right when I started to go vegan and started to question like what I'm putting in my body, what I'm putting on my body, what type of an environment am I in. That started to come up a lot, and that really helped me be okay with letting some friendships go, because I realized that I wasn't living in or spending time with people in the most healthy environments. And once I recognized that, it was kind of hard to let them go, but I knew that I had to in order to feel less stress in my life and to feel more comfortable and more loved. So I would say that kind of took place in the beginning, and then ever since then, I've just had a certain standard in my life for people that I'm going to be spending time with. If they're not going to be contributing positively to my life, and if I'm not contributing positively to their life, then it's not going to be a friendship worth investing in.
Mm, definitely, yeah. Right, so if people want to ask some questions, I'm happy to sit back and let others ask the questions, but I have a few more as well. But I don't want to just. The thing I was going to ask you about is kind of a big topic that's come up on YouTube a lot in the vegan community, is that there's just been a huge focus on like vegan drama and
Mm.
drama between vegan channels, and I don't know if that's just something that happens because of YouTube or whatever. But you don't really have any videos where you create drama or anything, and you're doing really well. What's your opinion on all the drama kind of stuff that happens and the people that look to create that?
Yeah, so I don't agree with it at all. I don't think it's necessary. I don't think it's healthy. I don't think it adds positively to anybody's life. I don't think it's needed in order to have a YouTube channel be successful or to get your message of veganism across. Um, I think it's just like a form of entertainment, and that's something that I've never gotten into. And I think that's that kind of shows on my channel is that I don't talk about that. I don't do that. I don't practice that on my channel. And it's because I don't do it in my life either. I just don't like talking about individuals in a negative way or behind their back or for a form of entertainment. Like for me, entertainment can be found in making art of some sort, in drawing or making a bracelet or going for a hike, or talking about something that motivates you, like with a friend, talking about our goals together, making healthy meals together. There are so many healthy, positive forms of entertainment that it's so silly to me that negative entertainment and gossip and drama is so prevalent and so present in the vegan community, because it's just not necessary, and it's a waste of time and a waste of energy, in my opinion, and is not doing anything positive. So I will never engage in that, and that's something that I definitely will stick to for the entire time that I'm on YouTube.
Do you watch any of it? Do you ever enjoy it, or?
I definitely don't enjoy it.
Yeah.
I don't really watch any of it. I mean, like, titles will pop up in my recommended videos, so I get like a taste of what's going on, but and like on very rare occasions I'll click and kind of like skip through, but then I click right out and I'm like, uh, it's just so unnecessary to like really get into it and follow. It's like a soap opera or something. And yeah, I also don't watch TV, and I mean, like, I'm not opposed to nonfiction things like documentaries and National Geographic and Animal Planet and stuff like that, but um, as far as like entertainment shows on TV go, I've never after like high school or middle school, so it's just like been out of my life for a long time. And YouTube to me is kind of like the drama that's going on in YouTube is like very similar to those shows, and they just don't appeal to me, so I don't really engage in them.
Yeah, a question here that came up was, what kind of fat percentage would you say your diet is? And that's the first part of the question. The second part is, do you have a source? Do you have a favorite source of lysine? Which I'm not. Jonas tells me that lysine is an amino acid in enzymes. I'm not really sure. I think maybe people have said vegan diets may be low in lysine. I'm not really sure, but
Okay.
fat percentages. Are you someone that follows like 80-10-10 kind of principles, or do you not concerned with that, or what's your thoughts?
Good question. I again, like, I go through phases of trying things, and right now I'm kind of in a phase of not paying attention to anything other than what my body is desiring. So I'm definitely trying to eat pretty intuitively right now. I do
Good.
feel that my fat is probably within that range right now. I definitely like to keep it on the lower side. I feel like my digestion personally works best when I have mostly fruit in my diet. I've been noticing some digestive issues with vegetables, and that's something that I kind of want to dive deeper into and figure out what's the deal there. When I was like a newborn baby, I had an ear infection, so my mom gave me antibiotics, and they wanted me to go for like 2 or 3 rounds of antibiotics, and after the first one she felt kind of uncomfortable with it, but I had those when I was so young, and I do believe that those have really impacted my immune system and my digestive system. So I'm constantly like trying to figure out what I can do, what I can switch in my diet and my life to make my body run more smoothly. And I do feel that a lower amount of fat helps me with that. I don't know percentages or grams that I eat per day. I've tracked that in the past, but I'm not right now. Um, so yes, that's my answer.
What are the other aspects of health that you try and focus on, and are there any that you've been focused on lately? For example,
Yes.
things outside of diet, like sleep, like positive thinking, like who knows? There's so many things, but what are your things that you like to focus on?
Yeah, totally. I try and focus on like a lot of other aspects of health at all times. So sleep is something that I'm always really conscious of because since I feel I have a not so optimal immune system, if I don't get proper sleep, my body will tell me really, really quickly because I'll start to feel under the weather. So I try and get a lot of sleep, like 10 hours a night would be ideal, but when I get less sleep, sometimes I'm just like really excited and will wake up early. So then I'll go to bed earlier that night. So I'm always trying to be in tune with my sleep and also the amount of sunshine that I'm getting and the amount of time I'm spending outside. Also, the environment that I'm living in, the people that I'm spending time with. I am really conscious of all of that. And I just do my best to spend time in stress-free environments because I know that stress really impacts my body, my digestion, the amount of motivation that I have to do things. If I'm stressed, that just really impacts a lot of my life. So I try to keep that to a minimum by having a healthy environment. So, and exercise. There's just so many things.
Yeah. So we talked about supplements a lot, but someone was asking about lysine, and you were mentioning that you don't take any supplements at the moment. I'm pretty much the same. I've never taken any supplements so far as a vegan or raw vegan anyway. Um, are you planning on staying in Hawaii at the moment? Where's things going for you?
Yeah, I love Hawaii so much. I will definitely be coming back here right after the Woodstock Fruit Festival. I'll be staying here all winter, and then I will be leaving to hike the Appalachian Trail next spring around April. So then that'll be 5 or 6 months. I intend on coming back to Hawaii after that, to the Big Island, but it's not set in stone. There are so many things that I've planned in my life, and then I decide to change it up at the last minute. So I can't really say like I'm 100% coming back, but I do know that this place is super special, and if I am to call anywhere home and to lay roots, it will definitely be here.
Brilliant. You have a bit of a community out there. Do you have like there's a bunch of people that are on YouTube and other things and who are at Woodstock who live out in Hawaii or are they
Yeah.
nearby you? People like Evan Rock
Yes.
and
Yeah, everyone is pretty close by. I would say there's a handful of us that are all within a 10-minute drive from each other. I started off on the other side of the island, about 45 minutes away from where I am here, and I was living on the farm there, so there was definitely a sense of community there, which was great. And then I moved to the other side, which is 2 hours away from where I am now, and there was a very, very small or non-existent raw vegan community. There were individuals who were vegan, and I worked at a vegan cafe for a little bit, but there weren't like people who were interested in just eating tons of fruit and fresh fruits and vegetables. And I don't know, I just felt like I really lacked that, and I felt like I wasn't connecting as well with the individuals on the other side. So now I'm very happy to be surrounded by quite a few individuals who are eating very healthfully, taking care of their bodies. They're also on YouTube, and it's fun to connect in that way and to be able to share and discuss how we're running our own businesses and all of that.
yeah, you did a video recently with Megan Elizabeth. Is she someone that that you live nearby, that you stay with, that you get to hang out with a lot?
Yeah, so we are actually living together right now. And after the Woodstock Fruit Festival, we're hoping to find another home out here that we can move into. We're searching for apartments right now because the one that we're in right now is just temporary. So it's been really fun to live with her, and we definitely have some more collaborative videos planned for the near future. And it's been really cool to motivate each other to make videos and to just share like possible ways to inspire individuals through social media. And yeah, it's been really, really cool living with her.
Nice. And has she been a bit of a mentor for you at all? Like I guess she's been on YouTube quite a while and things like that. Had her own online business. Has she helped you with
Yeah,
stuff like that?
totally. So it it's been really awesome because Megan was the individual who really taught me the steps to take in order to get my business off the ground. And
Mhm.
I really listened to all of that and applied all of that. So it's been a really unique and special situation for both of us, for me to be able to be now connecting on a more personal basis with somebody that has mentored me and inspired me and taught me how to do this. And also for her, I mean, I can't totally speak for another person, but um, it's been cool to see an individual like me apply everything that she's taught and be successful with it. So it's kind of like very fulfilling for both of us. And then, like, after my channel had its big boom, I have been able to give back sort of in sharing videos that we have together on my channel to create more of an audience for her. And it's been really awesome to do that because I really don't feel like I would be here without the inspiration and teaching that she shared with me.
And was that part of a program that she was offering, or was that just personally she just gave that help to you?
That was, no, it wasn't personal at all. It was just one class or two classes at the Fruit Festival two
Was that-
years ago.
Yeah, I remember being at there as well. Yeah, it was like a kind of secret class where she gave out the yeah, that was really brilliant. I remember that as well.
Yeah.
Um, well, I don't want to take up too much more of your time, and I think I think we've pretty much caught up with most of the questions. Someone's wanting to contact you via email regarding advice and being part of the community and everything.
Okay,
How do people
so
get in touch with you if they want to contact you or
yeah, so
find out
right
more about
now
you?
I've kind of like taken personal one-on-one coaching and contacting kind of like off of my website just because I have so much that I'm working on and it's really hard for me to get back to everyone in a really authentic, personal manner. So, what I've done is I've created a Raw Alignment community on Facebook. So, you can go on Facebook and type in Raw Alignment Community, and there's over 1,000 individuals in there, and everyone shares pictures of their food, things that they're going through. People will post questions like, how do I get this certain vitamin or mineral? How do I deal with my mom who doesn't want me to be vegan? Just like anything that anyone's dealing with, they'll post it in there, and other individuals, sometimes including me if I have the chance, will respond and just share some suggestions and advice on that topic. So I really encourage you to go and join that if you're looking for support. And a lot of people in there watch almost all of my videos, so they know like my input on a lot of things. So if I'm not there to answer directly, it seems that a lot of people are answering in a very similar way that I would, which is really cool. So totally join that group.
Great, excellent. Any last thoughts you want to give out before any last bits of advice or anything before we leave it for the night?
I guess I just want to say thank you to you for asking me to do this little interview right here. It's been super fun, and anybody who is in the area of the UK, totally come. It's going to be worth it. Like I said, going to the Woodstock Fruit Fest in the past has changed my life, and it seems that the UK Fruit Fest is very in alignment with that one. And I am just very excited to go there and connect with individuals, and I would love to connect with you guys. So if you haven't signed up and you've been considering, definitely click the link. I think Ronnie just posted it, and you can use my code Raw Alignment for 10% off. And it's so worth it if you go. I'm sure it will change your life.
This was a picture. This was our first event a couple of years ago. I don't think I've got a picture from the second event, but you can see the amount of colour in the picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
A lot of raw vegan people like to wear a lot of colourful clothes as well for some reason, but
Yes.
um, yeah, everyone is welcome. It's not an event for elitism or anything like that. For anyone at any stage of their journey, if you want to learn about veganism, raw veganism, it is 100% raw vegan menu that's served on the day and at the event. And there's options for coming for the whole event or just coming for the weekend. There's camping options. There's accommodation provided if you want that. And there is classes and lectures from not just Elise, but people that are well known in the raw vegan community. Doug Graham, the
Mm.
author of the 80-10-10 diet. Ted Carr, who's a fruitarian triathlete on YouTube. Anne Osborne, the author of Fruitarianism and Path to Paradise, um, and other athletes and chefs. And we have a professional chef that's doing the menu, and there's some volunteering options as well still available. So feel free to get in touch. Go to the website fruitfest.co.uk, and Alice's voucher code is Raw Alignment. And so if you go to register and pay, you can put that in, and it'll give you the discount. So really encourage you to sign up. It's a great event, and hope to see you there. Now that's going to happen just in a couple of weeks' time now, 27th of July to the 31st of July. That's in Gloucestershire, uh, just a couple of hours outside London. Very easy to get to, and yeah, it's going to be a great time. So don't miss it. And for now, Elise, thank you very much, and hope to speak
Thank
to you
you.
soon. And we'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right. See you guys.
Bye. So thanks everyone for joining today and for watching. Really appreciate your feedback and your questions, and appreciate the fact that you spent some of your time with us tonight. It's really affirmed for me that it's been a good choice getting asking Elise to be part of the event and be part of this, because her answers were so great. Everything she had a great response for. Um, I think you'll probably agree with me that she's a very inspirational person. She's made big changes in her life. She's made big decisions, and we can all learn a lot from her. So I hope to see some of you at the Fruit Festival. And if you're not at the one in the UK, why not think about going to Woodstock Fruit Festival? That's in New York. I've got a discount offer for that one. I think my discount thing is Fruity Ronster for that, but maybe not. But Elise has definitely got. You probably got the same discount code for Elise for Woodstock. So get to one of these events. It'll really change your life. You'll meet a lot of cool people. Um, be bold. Sometimes you need to make bold decisions to go and do stuff on your own. With meeting new people, it can be a hard choice to make, but it can really lead to huge life changes, as it has done for Elise. Until next time, have a great night, be healthy, make good choices, and take good risks. See you later.